Hey everybody, I'm Mr. Fudge, your balloon man. I am going to be twisting for you today. Absolutely nothing, because I made most of it ahead of time. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over a great number of things for you guys that don't know me. I've been twisting balloons since I was 8 years old. I started at a summer camp. I wanted to learn magic. The magician wanted to get rid of me, and he did it with a balloon. So he handed me the balloon. He said, "Here, Mr. Fudge, if you can blow this up, I will teach you whatever you want to learn." So I took the balloon, I took it out, and I was so excited. I said, "Yes!" I did that all day. Oh, the next day, the third day, the fourth day, and the fifth day, till finally I decided I was going to cheat. Puffed, pulled the air down. Puffed.
There's an easier way to cheat.
Puffed.
You can suck on the end
And
of it.
pulled the air down. Till finally, I had a full-size balloon. He was so impressed. Oh, let me make it a little more realistic. It looked horrid. But he was so impressed, he said, "Wow, Mr. Fudge, that's amazing!" Oh, he had a mustache. "Wow, Mr. Fudge, that's amazing!" Now let me show you some magic. My heart sank. A tear came to my eye. Started to go to my cheek, but before I could actually full throttle cry, he made 2 one-handed balloon dogs. Got me locked on balloons. I learned balloon dog, heart, sword, monkey, parrot, motorcycle, all kinds of stuff, and that's how I got started doing balloons. So that's a little bit of my backstory. When I was about 15 or 16, Miss Maxine Bard, she was real famous in Balloons and Fun Times, way back for some of the older guys might know her. I was, before YouTube, was out there, I was looking to try to figure out, I didn't even know what to call these things. Rubber models of animals, of balloons that are stretchy but don't pop, I don't know. I typed in so many things that day until finally I found, what are they even called? It's an email thread. Where you send an email and it blasts everybody and then it was one of those things. Like a chat room without the room. So I sent out this email blast that said, "Hey, I'm a balloon guy, trying to learn balloons. I'm 15, 16 years old. I'm in the Tampa area of Florida. And
Oh my God, I remember that!
Yeah? That was me.
Copy of the email.
There you go. So I said, "I'm in Florida and I want to learn some balloons." So Miss Maxine said to me, she said, "That's so awesome, your last name's Fudge. I want to make sure you go far. I want to support the young artists in the industry. Go ahead and come to Orlando. I'll find you someone to room with. I will make sure your convention is paid for." It was the first Fabiac in Orlando. Big. Sorry, not Big Banner. Anyway, and then I will get you in and we will get you started. So she got me out there, took care of me, and she said, "The only thing you have to do is bring a box of fudge." Pulled out the family recipe, made me a box of fudge, and she was so excited. When she got that, she started eating. She goes, "Oh man, this is so great! I'm diabetic, it'll probably kill me, but I'm like, oh my, no. So I freaked out, took away her fudge, gave it to anybody else I could, and from then on she said, "If you can ever make it to a convention where I'll be, I will find you a room, board, and I will pay your convention fee. You can go to any convention you want." So the only reason at all that I'm here today is because Miss Maxine took care of me. So she took me from Orlando to Chicago to Arizona, and then from there, Dustin started joining, so I wasn't the only guy my age, and then more and more joined after that. So it was really, really great, and that's kind of how I got started with the balloon stuff. So that was about 15, 16. At one point I was the best, youngest balloon artist in the world! And then Dustin showed up. Things happen. But so all that to say, I've been doing balloons for a long time. I also love business. I was the guy that sold popcorn in the Cub Scouts and made more money than everybody else. I was the guy that sold candy at school, made $500 plus a week in profit, after paying off the teachers and my father and gas money and this, and paying people to distribute. Like, I was that guy. So I took my loves of business and balloons, I combined those together, and I started my own business, because I don't want to bag groceries for a living, so that was just me, right? So that's kind of where I started, and then I found some other guys at a club, at an event, and it was a fire performer and a juggler. I said, "Wow, this is so awesome. Where's your card?" He goes, "Oh, I don't have a card. I work at a coffee shop." But you're the best fire-performing juggler I've ever seen in my life. And you work at a coffee shop? We ended up becoming best friends, and that's where I started my, you're a balloon man, now it's fire. You know, so, which by the way is really scary to birthday party moms. So I changed my name to Your Total Entertainment, and then finally to YTE Tampa. Then I realized that was way too small because I was getting booked elsewhere, so it was YTE Events. I've had YTE Events for about 3.5, 4 years, and book about 300 entertainers in the greater Tampa Bay area, probably about 50 more regularly. And then I also just bought last year a balloon decor company, so I do balloon decor as well. So I've kind of been growing, doing my own thing, and having a blast with all that. So that's a little bit of history about me. In the process of all that, one of my first jobs was working restaurants. I have counted how many hours I have worked in restaurants. I have worked over 40,000 hours in restaurants. That is 4.6 years straight with no sleep of paid gigs. Not very well paid gigs, but paid gigs. So I've had a lot of practice, and in the process of doing that, I've developed some philosophies on business, on twisting, and balloons, and other things. So at this point, people that are just getting in, just tell yourself, he knows what he's talking about, and then we'll continue. Awesome. So what we'll be covering is, I'm going to show you about 30 of the most common balloon shapes that I teach my people. Some of these are different variations, and I have a point for each of them, so I'll quickly go through them if I can find them quickly, right? I'm going to go a little bit over how to increase your tips when you're working at an event or a restaurant, which also, by the way, is not just how to increase tips. It's how to increase your value so you can charge more, right? So that's another one. How to find solid designs to add to your repertoire, so that you don't have to steal other people's designs. I think it's great taking a cake recipe and making a cake that you know that works. But Betty Crocker designs are not what's going to set you apart. Learning how to be your own chef is what's going to set you apart. And that's what's going to help build value. I'm also going to talk a little bit on how you can polish your work, a little bit on speed techniques, a couple of ideas on how you can take your twisting to the next level, how you can make more money, because really you're here to make money. I mean, having fun is great, but you want to pay for this convention too. And if there's time, I'll cover a couple of things on hats too. So at this point, we're going to go quick. The first 3 shapes I teach, actually the second 3 shapes, but we'll skip the first one. The first one I teach is a dog. I teach the quick dog. The quick dog is you're actually skipping steps so that you make your ears and your feet and your legs. So that's dog. And then the next one's going to be heart. Notice how I didn't tie and then tie together. I just tied. That's another speed technique. So there's your heart. And finally, sword. Everybody just joined in. They're like, yay, this is like the most boring balloon class. But no, this is exactly what I teach. Oh, but Mr. Fudge, you can add bubbles and make it nice, and you can do this, and the 3-fold looks like... Yeah, but this is quicker. So these are the exact same shapes that we end our lines with. Dog, heart, and sword. Dark blue. I work for the lightning and the rays. They're both blue. Everybody gets blue. I have 30 some odd bags of blue at my office at all times. Everybody gets blue. You don't get a choice. So, real quick on that, well, because that doesn't always compute. When I'm twisting, I'm making stuff. There's a lot of different ways to work. The way that you're most common with is standing in a line and asking people what they want, yes? Yeah. Okay, there's other ways. We'll get to that later if we have time. So, you say, hey, what would you like? What would you like? What would you like? Oh, that's awesome. Hey, look, I have 30 minutes before I have to go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, women and children of all ages, thank you for coming here and now to the most awesome balloon guy on the planet in the zip code. I just want to let you know that we are about to wrap up, and theoretically, ideally, I'm supposed to leave in 30 minutes. However, don't run away. Don't be sad just yet, because I have an option. I can do one of 2 things. I can either send you guys away crying and sad and not give you anything, or I can try to be the nice, kind, warm-hearted balloon artist that I am and make everybody something. And that's what I would like to do, so this is the way we're going to do it. I'm going to give you a choice. You have 3 options. You can have either a dog, a heart, or a sword. You just have to tell me what you want. Now be careful and be ready, because what's going to happen is I get to the person in front of you, I'm going to ask them what they want, and then I'm going to ask you what you want at the same exact time. If you're not quick enough to tell me, I'm going to choose for you. But if you can tell me before I get started on your balloon, then you will have an option of a dog, a heart, or a sword. Right? Now if the line disappears, now I do this at stadiums with like 40,000 people, I can make balloons faster than they can get in line. Right? So, I do that by doing dog, heart, sword, or sword. Unless it's a school, then it's dog. Right? No weapons at schools. So, but that is one way that I end my line, and that's the reason I start with those basic shapes. The other thing is it teaches them a loop twist, it teaches them a sausage twist, it also teaches them how to shape and how to tie, because this, for some reason, is really freaking hard to learn and to teach. Tying a balloon end to end without tying it first, it's just a concept that takes a little bit of time to practice, so we go over that too. The other thing too, and I didn't blow up the balloon dog all the way, I can actually blow up all three of those balloons exactly the same. So if I have a helper, I have my Mac pump there, it's pinch the tip, blow it all the way up, tie it off. Pinch the tip, blow it all the way up, tie it off. Leave a little tip about yay big, and I can make all of those with the same amount of air. So it's fast, quick, and efficient, easy way to end the line. So that's something that I wanted to start with. The next thing I wanted to do is show you, like I said, some of these shapes. I take my swords when I'm in line, and this is my line work sword. So it's a 350 sword. This is one version. There's another one in here somewhere we'll find where it goes across. But it's just a 350 and a spiraled 260, yeah? So I'm just going to throw these and see what happens. But so the sword is great because its size and its simplicity, yeah? Let's wait on there. I'm going to make another one. So another thing that I do is when someone comes up and asks for a dog, I have really nice dogs that I make, but if you're going to make a dog and you're trying to make something that's fairly simple and fairly quick, I don't usually warm up with a dog. Okay, but anyway, you do like a 350 dog, yeah? Really not polished. Shh. But you have a 350 dog, looks way better than your simple dog, yeah? Or let me rephrase that. It looks different. Right? So you get some variety in there, you get something else. It's a bigger balloon, they feel more special, whatever, right? So that's that. Okay, I didn't want to do this. Ignore everything you're going to see until I show it to you.
I'm blind!
Son of a bitch!
Okay, now I gotta find it. Okay, cool. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the cat. This is the simple, the slightly more advanced because I added whiskers cat. And this is the cat that I do for line work. This is the one that I teach. The reason I teach this one is because it's fairly simple. It looks like a cat, and it's 1, 2, 3 balloons. Right? It takes me, most of my shapes that I teach are between 2 to 5 minutes. Right? So that's the cat. Snail. Because I have cheesy jokes with this one.
Right on top.
Cheesy.
Right on top.
Right there, yellow and blue.
When it's kind of slow, when you still need to impress. That was a cheesy joke. Okay, cool. But this is the snail we do. This is that fire-breathing juggler that I met way back in the day. He actually came up with this design. His name was Kenny. So he made this. He goes, "Man, your snail is horrid. I wanted to make something I didn't feel embarrassed making." And he made this, and I was like, "Cool. Well, now I make it." So, but this is the snail that we did there. So that's really cool. Fish on a pole. I will tell you that Shauna does a much more amazing fish on a pole, or fish. My pole's just fine. But there is a fish eating a fish. See, it's got the fish in the bait. So that's good. But it's twisted. There we go. But that's our fish in the pole. This is not really that impressive as far as what it is, but it's fun. You go, right? So that's cool. My horse. What I've done is I've taken the simple 2-balloon 260 horse, made it out of 350s, and it looks adorable. Yeah, right? So it's a little bit bigger, it's a little more impressive, it gives a little more value, helps us stand out. Teddy bear. This one's really special to me because my mom, when I was younger, bought me a teddy bear. and it looked very much like this from Shoney's. It was almost the same size even, yeah? So I got me a teddy bear, and I make the little cute and adorable one, and I give that story. So it now has an emotional bond as well. So now they're not paying for a balloon, they're paying for the emotion.
Aw.
Right? That'll tie in later.
Is that 2 or 3 browns?
That's,
Or 2 browns or what?
that might be 2. I normally make it out of blush and a brown. But I was using different size balloons, so I was kind of... Yeah, that's another thing. So we'll get to that when you get to polish stuff. When you use a certain brand or a certain size or a certain color, you learn the feel of that and you get used to it. And you polish that to the point where you can use the entire balloon efficiently, right? By using it efficiently, getting the maximum amount out of that balloon, and still being able to finish. When I finished this, what happened is I didn't have enough for the arms and legs. So, I know now, after the fact, I can make this still out of 2 balloons, but what I do is I make the head part the blush, and the nose the brown, and then I have enough to make the brown to go around. See, so you can vary your design a little bit, and now it's not 2.5, it's 2. It also saves a lot of time and 7 cents. Okay, the next one is Flower in here. Please tell me she's in here. Flower Cloud? No, Hugs.
Oh, Hugs better be here.
Okay, anyway, that's fine. We'll not call her out anymore. So, Hugs made this really cute, adorable ladybug for a competition at a clown convention a long, long time ago. And then her husband, Uncle Kurt, showed it to me at a Twist and Shout or something. And then from there, we created all these variations. And I'm actually showing variations. So there's the ladybug, the exact same thing as a snowman. You add an extra bubble, it's a caterpillar, right? And then the caterpillar, of course, turns into a butterfly. You have a spider to not eat the butterfly, right? And then you have a bumblebee because it's cute and adorable. That's made out of 350s and 160s and a puff 360, right? And then you've got your bunny rabbit with a missing head. It was a bunny rabbit and it was cute and adorable. It's the best one and you missed it, but it's a bunny rabbit there. So these are actually bracelets that come off. Now, a lot of times when I work at an adult venue and there's a lot of women and it's like a gala seating, what I'll do is I'll make a bunch of these ahead of time and I'll make a couple of sticks. And you can fit a bunch of these if you kind of rotate them, so that a lot of them fit into like the holes of the other one, right? The empty spot. So that just filled the whole thing, and now it fills up only a section, right? So now I can take this, and I can run around table to table, and when I work those events specifically, in that specific scenario, I guess, I go table to table. Every lady gets a bracelet or a headband. And one guy at the table gets something crazy and embarrassing. Right? So that's my... I build value that way by already having that stuff done, charging for my time and all that too, but it's a lot of fun that way. And stuff gets out. The ladies who really care about the balloons anyway love it. And the guys who are only there to be embarrassed by the ladies love it. So it's awesome. Oh, that wasn't what I was supposed to show. Flower bracelet. Yeah, I didn't make it. It's a flower on your bracelet. It's the same thing. I missed one. Okay, the heart headband. Thank you for whoever let me borrow it. Yay, it's on the floor. That's the simple thing. So I use a little bit different headbands. I cover those with 350s. This is quicker because it's already colored and beautiful and adorable. But heart headband, way easy, way simple. Alberto Nava came out with a whole thing of headbands. I was telling someone last night I wanted to make stuff on glasses, but I couldn't find glasses I could buy cheap enough to give away. So when he came out with the headbands, it was around the same time, and I was like, oh, well, that's way better. So 25 cents is a lot better than $2. But so headbands are really awesome. I do all kinds of stuff with this. For the baseball, I do it in blue and blue. I do white, and I do red little lines, right? So it's real versatile. I also can do it without the heart. I can do it with glowy, flashy light things. That one's not going to work, of course, because I pulled it out. I do glowy, flashy light things inside, so you can change color for stuff as well. I don't know if you can see that.
Where do you get your lights from?
Magicbackdrops.com. Yeah, something like that. How are we doing on time?
Did you say where you got your headbands from?
Oh, I forgot to hit start. Headbands I get from... How much much time do we have left?
It's
So I know-
6:48, so like
What
45
does that
minutes.
mean?
An hour and 12 minutes.
We got plenty.
I got an hour.
And
I have an
12
hour.
An
and then a
hour and
little
10
bit.
minutes.
Got it. I'm gonna shoot for that. Except for that's measuring seconds.